with the... All right. He will be delivering a special talk. This is going to be our talk by Mr. Rajan Navani on gaming, the future stack.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here with all of you. And it's, I think when you think of the Republic India Economic Summit, you say where, aspirations of India meet bold ideas. I think this is the place where it's all happening. And today, earlier, when Arnab walked me around this campus and showed me what has been created here, I must compliment both Arnab and Republic for what has been created. It's something truly what India can create both for India and from India for the world. And I think when you see that and you see the young people, who were walking around here, it brings about that hope and excitement that we all talk about when we think of India. We always say that, we are the world's youngest country by age, but I think what is most important is how are we going to use that youthful power that we have to be able to shape the future, not only of our country, but of the world at large. And I think, therefore, there is that one India moment. When you think of it, we are the world's fastest growing economy today. We have a youth demography that none others have. And I think it was with the same, expectation that when we were thinking about what would the next 30 years of our group's business be like, we're an 80-year-old business family, I thought that the best way to be able to help shape that was to understand first this Gen Z, the young generation that is not only going to be creating this India, but also going to be the biggest consumers in shaping the future of this India. This is the generation that, will reject a job because you're not allowed hoodies, at work. This is the generation that when we try and understand them or they say, you don't get us. It's a digital always generation. It is an immersive generation. It is a generation that is very hard for someone to be able to point a finger at and say, this is what defines it, right? Everyone's trying to figure that out. And so we set upon this journey to say, we are going to build trust with this generation. We are going to actually play a role in the daily digital life of this generation. And through that platform and that trust, really be able to address both their concerns and their needs of the future. And it was, therefore, by chance that the entire, media entertainment piece is what we hit upon, because strategically when we were figuring out, we said the first area that the opportunity we could see was one where, there was a particular way in which this generation was engaging both with content, not only as consumers of content, but also creators of content. And I think that's the big shift and the big opportunity that we saw, about a decade ago. And over these years, we have actually built this entire ecosystem, whether it comes to, finding competitive gamers in esports, creating simulated experiences through video gaming, which is also extending to, education and a lot other areas of artificial not only bringing artificial intelligence, but, using artificial intelligence to drive immersive experiences in augmented, mixed and virtual reality. And I think that entire journey and experience is what, shaped a large part of what we have been doing over the last decade. And then this entire aspect of the creator economy. And I think for India, if we really look at what's going to drive the future, to me, it sits in these three buckets, right? There is innovation, there is creativity, and then there is entrepreneurship. So if I look at the room here and I see a lot of young faces here, and I say, how many of you want to actually be job creators, and not just job seekers? I'm sure I'm going to see a lot of hands, because everybody here wants to be able to create an opportunity for a livelihood that not only concerns themselves, but gives them the freedom, the flexibility, and today with technology, the ability to actually create very successful micro-entrepreneurship or careers that never existed before. So not only are you going to be able to, create enterprises of the future that are going to be in India, from India, for the world, but actually ones that are going to be massively innovative. And in an era of technology, one very interesting facet that always comes out and everyone talks about it is what is it that's going to stay and what's it that's going to go away? So the creativity of a person, of a human being, is probably what's going to stay. So if you see all of human imagination, and I think Bharat and India has driven a large part of that, has come from some source of creativity that exists in one human being. And we see examples of that today. One maverick in the US has created not only satellite ecosystems, new cars, this. One human being can use and unleash creativity to such an extent that you can actually shape what the world will look like. And the ability to therefore be able to tap into that creative energy, that creative source, is something that I think is going to be a big shift that I believe we will have to see as individuals, as we look at the future, not only of India, but of the world. And I truly believe that India has the potential to bring that about. I see many examples. We work with the largest creator ecosystem